In this video, we're going to talk about getting ready to take your SOLIDWORKS certification exam. So we've already talked about the types of things you need to do to prepare yourself and be familiar with your tools. But on the day of the exam, it's very important that you have the proper environment, you have enough time, and you have a good understanding of where all the tools are that you're going to need. So the first thing I like to do is restart my computer. I like to make sure that everything's fresh and that I've removed anything from my system tray that's running that I don't need. Different computers are different. If you have certain types of things running in your tray that you need, obviously things like antivirus, you need to leave those on. But if you have a bunch of extra things running that will just slow your system down, go ahead and close them and shut them down if you don't need them. The next thing I like to do is make sure that my tools are all available to me where I think they should be and where I know they should be. So if you just start a new part and take a look at your Surface tab and your Feature tab, you make sure that all the tools you want or need to use are there, or you understand how to get to them quickly. Now you can always go to Insert, Features, and find tools, or down to Surface and find tools. But a lot of times it's going to be easier to use your quick key to customize your command manager and customize each of these tabs, or even make your own tab that you have all the surfacing tools available to you. So whenever you're taking an exam, such as a surfacing exam, they're not going to allow you to only use the surfacing tools, or they're not going to require you to only use the surfacing tools. You might have to use features. You're obviously going to have to use sketch tools and so on. So just make sure that you have these available to you. And you don't necessarily need to be cluttered with things that you don't need, such as data migration. So if you don't need that, then go ahead and turn it off and make sure that it's out of the way so you can navigate as quickly as possible. Also, make sure that your add-ins, any add-ins that you might need, are turned on or turned off. So for instance, if you have things like FeatureWorks or PhotoView, maybe if you're using SOLIDWORKS Electrical or Composer, or any of these simulations or animations. So if you don't need any of these for the exam, turn them off. If you come across a question that might need to have SOLIDWORKS motion, in this case with surfacing, you won't need that. But if you do, you can always turn it on when you need it. Some of these are really going to slow down your system if you're not using them. So make sure that any of them that you're not using, you just go ahead and turn off and deselect. So the next thing you need to do is make sure that you have a good environment to work in. You know that you're not going to be interrupted or bothered. So it's not really good to do this during the day at work, even if your work allows you to take these exams, if you know that you might be interrupted, because it can not only break your concentration, but remember that these exams are timed. So if somebody comes in and asks you a question that may take 15, 20 minutes, you've already lost a good chunk of time on the exam that unfortunately you can't pause and you can't get back. So make sure that you have a good area to work in, that you can have quiet, that you won't be interrupted. And that way you're all set and you're ready to take the exam.